Hello everyone, welcome back to Blow Par with myself, Lovery. So today's video then, I am going to talk you through something that has changed my game this year and the way that I think about my golf swing and how I hit the golf ball. I've kind of haven't played a huge amount of golf over the last few years, been working in pro shops and working on my own coaching business. But when I did get a chance to play, I kind of struggled a little bit and always found that I was always trying to compress the ball, keep my hands forward, and was always hitting a bit of a fade, couldn't square the club face, losing sort of high leaky ones to the right. And then I thought, well, sometimes, what is very often the case, is you start to learn more about the golf swing and suddenly you start losing control of your own game. You start trying all these different things and before you know it, you are down that rabbit hole so deep, you're out there having lessons and you don't know what to think and what to believe. So, this move in my golf swing helped change it worlds. So if you're somebody then that also struggles with the golf, struggles with a little bit of a slice from time to time, struggles with power, direction, control, just general consistency, then stay tuned. This is something that's completely misunderstood in the golf swing and I want to help clear it up and help you improve your game. So let's get going. Welcome back to White Hills in my teaching bay. And what I want to show you is what has really helped me this year with my golf. Now, I was always somebody that struggled with losing shots to the right. I would find that the club face very often was open and could never quite really understand why I couldn't do it consistently because my club path was relatively neutral, grip was in a relatively good position, and if I made it stronger, I just lost the ball left all the time. But I was always obsessed about the one word that I hear a lot in golf, which is compression. Yes, compression is really important when it comes to distance, but it doesn't necessarily mean you have to do it every single swing to a point where you feel like you're getting here all the time, because actually it made my game worse. Let's explain a little bit about the move. So let's just chat normally about a backswing. So backswing, we're after generating width to generate time and generate power. So if you're finding your power's down and your direction's down, this will really help you. So in that setup there, I'm going to try and generate a nice load of width on the way back. Always told, most people teach you, keep the arms straight, feel then we're getting the club away from us there. And you can see I've done that well. So I've generated all this space. Now what happens with most people here, and they generally think this is what they see on the TV, but it's not the case, is they'll swing up to the top and now they start to move very quickly into the left side. They lose their width and suddenly now you'll see the hands very quickly here getting ahead of the golf ball, meaning that actually the club face generally stays open and end up hitting down too much. Now most people then when they start hitting down too much, they don't realize it's that forward move, and actually what they'll start to do then is they'll start to rise very quickly through impact and they'll start flicking at it trying to save it, which again just doesn't work. It's going to create really inconsistent golf shots. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to hit a couple of shots just showing you this. Now what I'm going to do to begin with is I'm going to hit one where I feel like I collapse that room on the way down. So I'm going to feel like I pull the hands in close. I'm going to try and hit it hard, but I'm going to get the hands in here. I'm going to show you how the swing's going to look quick, but what it's not going to be is overly efficient. So it looked quick. Shot-wise, yes, it was okay. I hit that one quite well. But actually, room-wise, there's not much chance of me getting that right. Certainly, if I was to shorten the swing on that one, if I shorten the swing down now just to a sort of more punchy shot, how often do we see that one? Just that ball disappearing off to the right. And the reason why that happens, the club releases and rotates around the body. But if the hands are now ahead of the body, you can see already how just leaning the hand forwards opens the club face. If you want to see that at home, set up on a square line and now start to push your left hand forward and just look what the club face does. It starts to swing wide open. We don't obviously want it to be open. So what we'll do is we'll now explain the actual move. This is actually what happens on TV. Now, one of the things that you always hear on TV is they make it look so easy. Look how nice the rhythm is. I mean, how many times have you heard a commentator say, look how good that guy's rhythm is? And yet you watch it, the ball's sailing 300 yards and they're hitting a 7-iron 200 yards. And you go, well, doesn't look like he hit it. No, the reason is he's giving himself time. Time is so important in the golf swing. How do I generate time? Well, the wider I keep that golf swing, the width on the way down, for example, it's going to increase time because the club and hands have to move further to get back into the ball. So if I did that and that, well, I don't have any time anymore. I've restricted myself. But if I keep it here and wide, well, now I've got all the time in the world to start bringing the club back through. So it's that width and time that's going to make a huge difference then to your game. So the way we're going to practice that is we're going to set up how you would to a normal shot. We're then going to swing sort of waist height on the way back. We're going to make a little reference point. So I can see this little leaf here on the floor. My hands to me look roughly above that leaf. From there now, when I get up to the top, I'm going to try and replace my hands in the position they were just in. So that move is on the way down of creating width here on the way back. And what I'm trying to do is get my hands as wide as what they were on the way back, on the way down. So I'm generating width away from the body. I'm going to try and get them back there again. Now notice I am maintaining the angle on the club. I don't want to see you casting and losing that angle. We're after swinging up to the top. We maintain the angle now on the way down. And now that club is wide. Now this is going to allow me to compress the golf ball, because now in an actual swing, when momentum starts to move into my left side and my arms are far away, look how easy it is now to leave with my hands, but also square the golf club rather than leaving it open. And then suddenly we start hitting it with a nice square face, and it gives us all the time in the world. So we're going to go up to the top, wide, through. Let's try a shot with that. Now the nice thing is with that is, for me, it always feels like I'm placing that club miles away from me again. But actually when I'm watching on video, I'm not. I'm actually moving nicely through the ball and rotating. But it's that element of feeling that I'm wide that makes the difference. It gives me time to release my club and hit those shots. So for those of you that come and see me for lessons, you know I'm quite a big fan of drills. So what I'm going to do is show you a little drill that you can do either at home, you can do it at the driving range. Most driving ranges have these sort of bays in between, so we can do it with this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get you to artificially take the club up to the top of the backswing. So just to begin with, just to measure the sort of distance, you're going to set up, you're going to have it so that your right arm is touching. So I'm stood normal distance, right arm is touching. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to reach through my left arm. That's the turn up to the top of the backswing. So I'm turning up there. See how that equates to my distance? And what I'm going to do on the downswing now is I'm just going to place my hands, practice placing my hands on top of the wood there. So where normally I would be touching on the way back and I'd be all the way over here, getting way ahead of the golf ball, way into my left side, I'm actually going to feel like I'm going to try and touch that again. So I'm going to measure right arm to the wood, set up, I'm going to reach through, so I'm touching on the way back. There's my width, there's my straight arms, up to the top, place the hands now on top. And that's that feeling in the golf swing you want to try and create. And it's a feeling of getting that club back here, that width, that time, then to swing through into a nice balanced finish. Give that a try if you're at home or at the range, see how you get on. And honestly, when I started training for my PGA, I was probably hitting it the worst I've hit it in years. So I went from playing sort of some low-level tour stuff, then started to do my PGA, started to learn about the golf swing, started to try everything that you learn to try and fix your golf swing, and suddenly I'm down that rabbit hole so far, I have no idea what's going on. I wasn't sure at that point how to fix it. I tried all these things, they wouldn't work. So I started then to kind of learn a bit more about the golf swing. You do a couple of years of coaching, you start to learn more about the golf swing, and suddenly I'm looking at it from side on and going, you've just got no room, Joe. You're so quick into your left side trying to hit down it and compress it. You're not giving yourself time, you're not giving yourself space. Without that space, you can't naturally release the golf club. Suddenly you're really going to struggle. So for me, this has made worlds of difference this year. Honestly, I think since I was playing, this is probably the best I've hit it. And normally a swing change for me, I might hit it well for 1-2 weeks, and then I go back into old habits, then I'm off going to see a coach again. But recently with this, I mean, I've hit it well now, and not being big-headed, but I've hit it well now probably for 3 or 4 months with this. And I mean, I'm not even practicing at the moment, and it feels honestly like I can turn up and hit shots over and over again with good strikes, good club face alignment, you know, just hit the ball nicely. Just crazy compared to where I was only a few, you know, even 6 months ago. I mean, even 6 months ago, I was struggling a bit with my game. So huge, huge difference. So there we go then, guys. That is today's video. I hope you find that really useful. So if you're somebody, as I say, struggling with your power, struggling with your direction, hopefully that's given you a little bit more of an indication as to why and how you can then improve it. So give it a go. Let me know how you get on in the comments below. If you think a friend could benefit from that as well, why not send them a link to the video, let them have a watch. Guys, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon.